You really don't want your social media to go viral. What if you're hoping, wishing, even trying to create a video that will go viral? Come on, even just a little bit? I'm about to convince you otherwise, with the hope that you can then focus on increasing the impact of social media you're spending time on and stop wasting time and energy or just envy on those gone viral videos. I'm Deborah Atkinson. You're listening to Fitness Marketing Mastery, the podcast where I share marketing and sales strategies that are anything but sleazy, pushy, salesy. In fact, they're safe and simple and fun so that you can build a business and a life you love with integrity and feel good about it. And now, more than ever, we know that post pandemic, there's an opportunity and a crowd. You've got to stand out. So, how are you going to do that? And why wouldn't you want your social media to go viral? I am talking all about that today. I'm going to put a couple links in the show notes so that you can stand out. The most recent episode was all about mistakes, 3 mistakes that you may be making that are making you say social media doesn't work, and so that you can. Okay, we're going to dive in. So, literally, if you are hoping, wishing, and trying to create a video that will go viral, even just secretly thinking, gosh, why did that one go viral? Why doesn't mine go viral? I'm about to convince you that you don't want your social media to go viral. You've no doubt heard that riches are in the niches, meaning that if you have an everybody approach to who you serve and how you market, your message doesn't hit home for very many, if any, at all. It's why Flipping 50 fitness specialists do so well. It's a niche. It just happens to be a niche where now women are contacting me saying, I'd like to sponsor or scholarship a trainer who lives near me with the course just to be sure I get a trainer who knows this information. Seriously, just last week. So, I'm Deborah Atkinson, and I want you to be successful on social media. And I think this is the elephant in the room, but I want to let you know how. So many of you know, and you follow me. You're actually in my Flipping 50 audience, and you get emails from me about promotions and happenings there. Number one, that's a smart, savvy thing to do for a fitness marketer, so long as you're not copying. There's a big difference between copywriting with a W in your own voice and using copyrighted information someone else has used. One is actually illegal. The other is putting things in your words so that they will attract your ideal customer that is totally legal and ethical, and you should be doing it. And that's what I want to help you do. Look, you and I don't actually attract the exact same kinds of people, personalities, and it should be that way. We're not helping enough people. If 80 or 85% of the world is not exercising or eating as well as they should and has health issues, there's a lot more room for both you and I. And so let's get to it. Let's talk about some of the very few ads that appealed to a broad audience. So when you're trying to say, I can train anybody, I work with all ages, you're really not hitting home with anybody. Do you remember the Folgers commercials? And I'm almost guessing you're smelling Folgers coffee right now, or coffee. But say it's Christmas morning and one of the adult kids sneaks into the kitchen, having finally made it home from the army or some weather delayed trip. Remember? He's found first by a little sister and then by the parents. And hey, it's the holidays. That may be one of the rare commercials that spans all ages and both genders. Think about Super Bowl commercials, the ones with the Clydesdales and the cute dog. They do a pretty good job, as they should. It's a wide audience of men and women at every age, everywhere, turning in for different reasons. But listen, you don't have a Super Bowl reach. So then there's you. Your ideal customer is not everybody. And there's a huge, big difference between a brand loving ad like the Clydesdale commercials and Folgers, and an ad that gets a specific customer to buy a specific service that you offer that solves a specific problem. If you run a big fitness center or you're working under the umbrella of a big fitness center, you may want to work on ads that feature an emotional return right now, just post pandemic as I record this. And it could appeal to a broader range with a cheers, or a coming home kind of angle. But remember that one person at a time is seeing your ad. If it's not specific to the problem that she wants to solve, promising the transformation she wants, featuring the clear message she feels speaks just to her, she may not even click on your ad image. But those big, broad ads do something you don't want to do. They're just trying to win your hearts and loyalty. My guess is that you want and you need to make sales from your messages. So being the center of it all is kind of not helpful. Sorry, not sorry to somebody who needed to hear that. You really need to tell one person seeing your post that one thing that moves them into action with you. What is that? If you convince somebody to get active, start their pandemic comeback, but you fail to show them why it needs to be with you, you may be selling the competition who gets that message to them very clearly. People aren't looking for something, they're looking for the thing. So take this for an example. A big fitness center with dozens of trainers have trainers who work specifically with midlife female clients, and that trainer is also seen working with men and older adults after rehab. And then take this. There's a boutique studio owner trainer and an online trainer who both work exclusively with women in menopause. Today, you compete with all of them. The woman in menopause will decide between the online and the boutique studio owner based on their preference for in-person or online, and price may be a factor, but it also may be a matter of who has the stronger brand. I want to work with the best, and if I can have the best virtually, I'm going to choose that potentially over mediocre in person. What about you? Think about your customer. Are they the same way? I worked with a functional doctor in Austin, Texas. I live in Scottsdale. While there are probably 12 functional doctors within 20 miles of me right here. Why? Because I wanted the best. The Austin-based doctor gave me far more value for free than a local doctor ever did. So what are you giving in terms of your value for free? Like those social media posts. Are they valuable at all for the people that you're trying to attract? And if you have this broad base and you're thinking, but we serve so many people, you better start advertising to a small niche of them first, then spread that to a next niche and a next one. You should have a series of campaigns targeting different people. It's very possible to do that today on Facebook more than ever. And they are seeing you there. You're competing with the world right now. You've got to be better at marketing with value than you ever have been in your business life before the pandemic. Let's talk videos, because YouTube is a search engine. it's got the most potential for virility. Is that the right word? When a video goes viral, think about it. In my life, I would have seen it. My family members, my older brothers and sisters would have seen it. I would have shared it with my son, right? A viral video. But it depends on the content. Maybe it's something I wouldn't have chosen to share with my son on purpose. Maybe I wouldn't have shared it with certain loved ones in my family. Say it's one of those humorous videos about triathletes. It's funny for triathletes, it's funny for their coaches, for family members or ex girlfriends or boyfriends who might have, in fact, made the video. But that's a wide variety of people who aren't going to buy the thing that you might actually be advertising for, right? That's young and old, and it's men and women, it's athletes, it's non athletes. You get the idea. It's not about viral, it's about value. And I quote Sunny Lenarduzzi when I say that. Sunny's quote came from a podcast I recently listened to, and I will link to on the show notes. It's an episode of Entrepreneurs on Fire hosted by John Lee Dumas. There were several mic drop moments in that episode. By the way, it's a great podcast to listen to if you have a business, starting a business, or scaling a business. Sure, you want to let your social media go viral, but you can't aim for that. You'll only go viral if you're aiming for one person. Ironically, when you offer value to your ideal customer, the one for the program that you created exactly for that person, you'll have immediate gratification in more leads and more sales. If you're still living in the land of objections, like that won't work for me because I'm in a small town. We just don't have that many customers. We can't do that. But I offer personal training and I can serve anyone. All right. That is the land of objections, just like time, money, and I have to ask somebody that your customers might say. I encourage you to answer these questions. If what you're doing isn't working, why are you defending it? What do you have to lose by marketing better, or at least differently, to see if you can get better results? And if you spend a full day or more to create a program, shouldn't you spend multiples of that to create the marketing plan for it? Do you? And here's the analogy to that. When you write an email, you may spend 5 or 10 minutes doing that, pulling together the content. You should spend at least an hour coming up with subject lines because that determines whether somebody is going to open it and whether they will be happy and pleased that the content inside delivers the promise you made. If you have no idea how to write emails that get open, get clicked, and get customers, if you leave the copywriting for your website pages to somebody else, and if you know the gap between number of people landing on your sales pages and the number of people actually buying your services is huge, or if you don't actually even know that statistic, ouch. My fitness and health coach copywriting, and by the way, that's copywriting with a W, workshop is just for you. All you have to do is respond to this podcast episode and or send us an email at support at fitnessmarketingmastery.com, and you'll find that on the contact sheet. Respond to get added to the invitation list. It's a bonus for those who got in May to the Women's Health Month 40% off special and the Flipping 50 Fitness Specialist. And it's a part of our Build Your Business Fitness Mastermind. But you can attend too. We'll just have a registration fee specifically for that a la carte purchase. Just send your request for more details, no obligation, and we'll share it with you. But if you're coming here after it's over, the recording will still be available to you. And this is something that every single day. If you speak it, you write it, you post it, it's copywriting. And if you don't know which words persuade and which words repel your audience, you want to find that out. You don't want social media to go viral. You do want your ideal customer to find it valuable. And there you have it. Maybe surprising news on why you don't want your social media to go viral. Love to hear from you. Leave your comments and questions below the show notes at Fitness Marketing Mastery. What are you waiting for? The world needs you now more than ever.